welcome to Uncle Dave's Brigade. Today I've got Mr. Alice Cooper. Yes, Mr. Alice Cooper. And no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to tell what this song is about, history about Alice Cooper, some of the rumors floating around about him at the end of the video. And that's what I do for you newcomers here. I talk about the song, the history of the band or the group or the person, and a little trivia history and that kind of thing. It's not just a reaction channel, but it's kind of a lesson channel. So let's get to it. It's No More Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper, and we'll resolve some of the mysteries and history and rumors and all that kind of fun stuff about the man. How about that? All right. Hit like, subscribe, post notification bell. Here's Alice.
I got a bad reputation, and I don't know why. I brush my hair, brush my teeth, I go to church, and I'm a really nice guy. Yeah. I used to be such a sweet, sweet thing till they got a hold of me. I'd open doors for little old ladies, I'd help the blind to see. I got no friends 'cause they read the papers, they can't be seen with me, and I'm feeling real shot down, and I'm feeling mean. No more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. B, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I've said I'm a C. I got the friends 'cause they read the papers, they can't be seen with me, and I'm feeling real shot down, and I'm feeling mean. No more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. B, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I've said I'm a C. My dog bit me on the leg today, my dad called my eye. Mom's been thrown out of the social circle, and dad has to hide. I went to church incognito when everybody rose. The Reverend Smithy, he recognized me. He pushed me in the nose. He said, no more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. B, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick, I'm a C. No more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. B, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick, I'm a C.
Alice really is a nice guy. He is a regular kind of guy. He's not the persona that he portrays on stage, of course. He was born Vincent Bernier in 1948, and he started his career in the 60s and really didn't get traction until 1970. 1970 actually is when he did I'm 18, so that's what was his first big hit. But normal little boy, grew up in the church. His dad was a preacher. His grandfather was a preacher as well. Grew up in the church, strong Christian roots, but as a lot of times happens, kids go in a different direction once they're grown. He went into music, excuse me, and he got into drugs and alcohol as he got into the rock thing. So he got away from all his upbringing. But He got into the hard rock, glam rock, metal, new wave. He's done a little bit of everything. And his persona came from, well, first of all, the name Alice Cooper. There's mystery around that. There was always rumors that it was about a witch. That's not true. And then it was about a witch that was burned during the trials at Salem. That's not true. They said that they just pulled it out of the air. It sounded like a nice, clean, everyday name. And they used it because nobody in the band was female and they were males. So the contrast, the oddness of having a female name for all males was just shock. And that's what they were all about, shock rock. That's the whole thing, is that the persona that he had with the makeup, and on some videos, he's even more makeup and the tears streaming down of his eyes. The black makeup came from Betty Davis movie years ago, and horror movies. He kind of blended it together. Um, it was Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where she had really heavy cake makeup on, and she had black makeup, and it was all streaming down her face. It looked horrible, looked spooky. Quite frankly, I remember the movie. It was just kind of scary when I was a kid, and she was a crazy lady. And he said that's what Alice should look like, and so he adopted that. And so that's where that came from. But later on, Alice got clean and sober. He went back to his roots and Christian roots. He sings in the church choir. He's a regular attender of church. He plays golf. He's an excellent golfer, quite frankly. He's always at the celebrity golf tournaments, and he's an excellent golfer, raises money for charity. He sold over 50 million albums over the years, so he's made tons of money. We're doing that and the concerts and all that. He still travels and does occasional concerts and things like that. Not as heavy as he used to. He's done movies. He was in Wayne's World. I mean, there's a whole persona out there about him. Is pretty. Quite frankly, it was pretty smart marketing. It's kind of like Kiss. He was grandfather. He's considered the godfather of shock rock, and he was the first one doing this kind of stuff. Kiss kind of copied him in a way. So he was doing it long before that. But this song is about, he was always having to apologize to his mother's friends at church and his mother's social circle and his father's social circle, because his father was a preacher. I mean, a preacher's kid doing all this kind of crazy stuff. I mean, he had guillotines, electric chairs, babies, dead babies on stage. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And he says, guys, it's just an act. I'm not a devil worshiper. I'm not crazy like this. This is a stage performance. This is theatrical. I'm playing a part. But he did legally change his name to Alice Cooper because when the original band broke up, he didn't want lawsuits about him doing this music under that name. And so he just legally changed his name to Alice Cooper in 75 to avoid all that nonsense whenever bands break up. You can't use this music, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, he changed his name to Alice Cooper, so yes, he can. So he avoided all that. Smart move on his part, frankly. But funny story, odd story. One of his crazy antics, he had bought out a chicken in a bag. Yes, a real live chicken. No, he didn't bite the head off of it, but I'll get to that. And it was in a bag, and he threw it out of the bag, and he thought he was a city boy. He did not know that chickens don't fly. He was thinking the chicken was going to fly out over markets. Well, it fluttered out to the front row, and it fell down into the area reserved for the handicapped people with wheelchairs and things like that. I'll just say it didn't end well for the chicken. Leave it at that. And his producer, the great Frank Zappa, called him the next day and said, Alice, Is the rumor true that you bit the head off of a chicken and drank its blood on stage? And Alice said, no, that's not true. This is what happened. He told him. And he said, no, it didn't happen. He said, well, don't you ever tell anybody that it didn't happen, because that is a great image and a great promoter for your band. He said, don't tell anybody. He said, just go along with it. So, crazy business, I'll tell you. That's a little bit about Alice, a little bit about the song, and some of the rumors. And thanks for dropping in today. Hit like, subscribe, post notification bell, make a comment, make a suggestion, and be sure and come back. Be nice to somebody out there and be nice to yourself.